French minister moves to block U.S. envoy Kushner from government access. The French Foreign Ministry says U.S. envoy Charles Kushner should be blocked from access to the government, after he failed to explain comments about an alleged rise of violence in France. Kushner, father of Donald Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner, had been summoned to meet French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot on Monday evening, but he did not attend. Instead, he said he had a prior engagement and sent a deputy from the U.S. Embassy. This prompted an angry response from the ministry, which accused Kushner of an apparent failure to grasp the basic requirements of the ambassadorial mission and said Barrot had requested Kushner no longer be allowed direct access to government ministers. The diplomatic row began when the U.S. Embassy to France posted comments on social media about the murder of far-right nationalist Quentin Duranc. The post warned that violent left-wing extremism is on the rise in France. Duranc, a 23-year-old maths student, died in hospital on February 14, 2 days after being beaten by a gang of masked young men in Lyon, in an attack which ministers from France's center-right government have blamed on far-left militants. But the U.S. Embassy's comments appear to have angered the French government. "We reject any use of this tragedy, which has plunged a French family into mourning, for political ends," Barrot said over the weekend. "We have no lessons to learn, particularly on the issue of violence, from the international reactionary movement," he added. BBC News has approached the U.S. Embassy to France for comment. 6 men suspected of being involved in the fatal assault have been charged over Duranc's death, while a parliamentary assistant for a deputy from the radical left France Unbowed LFI party has also been charged with complicity. LFI leader Jean-Luc Mélenchon, who is a likely contender in next year's presidential election, has said his party had nothing to do with this story and condemned all forms of violence. "We express our consternation, but also our empathy and compassion for Duranc's family and friends," he said. A major snowstorm walloped the U.S. Northeast, causing disruptions for millions and thousands of flight cancellations. It has almost a month since 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie disappeared in the middle of night from her home in Arizona. The recent U.S. Supreme Court ruling that President Trump overstepped his powers when he imposed global tariffs paved the way for companies to seek a refund. U.S. victims have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars to a gang of UK and Irish nationals, known as the traveling conmen. Millions of Epstein-related documents released by the U.S. Justice Department include the names of the world's rich and powerful. Copyright 2026 BBC. The BBC is not responsible for the content of external sites. Read about our approach to external linking. You have reached the end of our in-depth report. For more deep dives into global affairs and breaking news updates, please subscribe to Neuron News Global and enable all notifications. Stay informed, stay ahead. See you in the next broadcast.